Yeah, this is a difficult topic. Either you know the answer or you're still looking for it. Well, I think I know mine. Let's talk. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me for Cocktails with Cello. I always got to look. Episode 18. This is LEDA. As many of you guys know, have been watching me for this past month, or for the current month. It's going live every day in August, and that's a challenge that was put out by the folks here in ECAM. So let me put the details out. Let me get the particulars out the way. All opinions are solely my own and do not reflect the opinions of my employer. The reason why I bring that up is because I work for the second largest recycling and waste company in the nation. Now, if we haven't met, which gosh, that's a pity. But if you haven't, hey, how are you? My name is Marcello Arcele. I provide recycling and waste services for businesses right here in Metro Atlanta. The industries that I focus on is manufacturing, logistics, and also, let's stick with those. And my goal is to ensure that the solution that's in place is a safe one, sustainable, and reduces downtime. Now, if that sounds like you, hit the emoji, thumbs up, heart. If you need help or know someone that needs help with that, please have them give me a call directly. My number is 678-683-9136. And also put it in the comments. If that sounds like what you like, be sure to put that an emoji in the comments, and I'll share it right back. All right, guys. So this was an interesting topic that they asked from us. They essentially was asking for us to talk about what our why is. And I want you to think about this. I'm not going to go long. I'm not going to go short. I'm going to go about average, right down the middle. So you guys know my average is about anywhere between 20, 25 minutes. So I'm not going to belabor the process or the discussion, but I'm just going to pique your interest. And I like to have a conversation here, back and forth. We'll highlight the different comments that you share here on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, you name it. I'll highlight those and we can have a dialogue. Now, if you watch the replay, that's fine. I'll still engage with you. We can still have a conversation. And if you need to talk, I'm a regular person just like you. I'm not a professional when it pertains to mental health or anything along those lines. Lines. There you go. But I'm always willing to share an ear, chat. Sometimes you wish you had that. All right, guys. So let me start by just get the conversation going. Let me show you a quick video of what Simon Sinek, because that's who made this topic of finding your why famous. Okay. Now, before we get into this, let me give a highlight to my folks that are watching live, and I always highlight the folks in LinkedIn. So I got my Ace Bunkun in the building, Yolanda Chin. She holds me accountable. She'll send me a text like, "Hey, you gonna go live today? You're gonna go live every single day." Yes. Thank you, Yolanda. And I got my great friend here, Miss Charlene Brown. Thank you very much for coming through. I appreciate the support. All right. So let's get right to it. I'm gonna show you this video here, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Find a friend you love, and one of those people who, if you called them at 3 o'clock in the morning, they'd take your call and you would take theirs. Don't do this with a spouse. Don't do this with a sibling. Don't do this with a boyfriend or girlfriend. Those relationships are too close. But find a best friend and ask them this simple question: why are we friends? And they're going to look at you like you're crazy, because it's very hard for the human brain to put our feelings into words, because the part of the brain that controls our...
I'm wondering, do you have someone in your life, a family member, a coworker, like what Simon just said, you may not want to ask them, but at the same time, you should, because that's who's going to be able to tell you, help you find your why. But yeah, do you have someone that you could trust? But he's going to go over a few things or steps how to get to the why, or help you get close to it for you.
Feelings doesn't control language. This is why we use metaphors and analogies, and why we struggle to tell people how we actually feel. It's because it's a different part of the brain. And so they're going to look at you and be like, I don't know. Why are you asking me this? And you say, come on, I know you've been there for me my whole life. And then you actually stop asking the question why, ironically. You actually ask the question what. You say, come on, what specifically is it about me that I know you'd be there for me no matter what? And they're going to hem and haw because it's hard to put into words. Don't help them. Don't let anybody else help them. And they're going to start describing you. I don't know. You're funny. You're smart. You're honest. You've always been there for me. You go, good. You play devil's advocate. Good. That's the definition of a friend. What specifically is about me that I'd know you'd be there for me no matter what? And again, they'll hem and haw, and some will get through this quickly, and some will get through it slowly, and it'll be a struggle, and you have to continue to play devil's advocate. Good, that's the definition of a close friend. What specifically is it about me? And eventually, they'll give up. Eventually, they'll stop describing you, and they'll start describing themselves. Like my friend said to me, Simon, I don't know. All I know is that I can sit in a room with you. I don't even have to talk to you, and I feel inspired, and I got goosebumps. In fact, I'm getting them right now. They will put into words the value you have in their life, and you will have the emotional reaction. You'll either well up with tears or you will get goosebumps. This puts you in the ballpark. This is where your why lives. And if you do this with multiple friends, they will say the same kind of thing. In fact, sometimes they'll say the same exact thing, because your why is the thing you give to the world, and amongst your closest and best friends, it is the space you fill in their lives. So that's a fun little way you can find your why. The simple answer is no. A why is the sum total of who you are. It is the sum total of the experiences you had when you were a kid, the way you were raised, what you got from your parents, your family, your friends, that made you...
Now, that's an interesting question. If you do want to change your why, I don't know why would anybody would want to change your why once you identify what your why is. So, but that's an interesting question to pose. You know, and it's actually kind of funny to see Simon stuck in that position. Okay, so now I have a few things in the description there that could help you, not help you, but it's just going to navigate you what we're going to be covering today. And it's 4 things that I when I sat down today and I thought about, like, what are the things that I could help guide the conversation and maybe even trigger, get those juices going for you to think, okay, well, maybe I already know. Now, in this point, if you know what your why is, by all means, take your time. Type it in the comments. Love to hear what your why is if you identify it, or you do if you know what it is. You don't? That's fine. Say I don't know what my why is, and I'm here to find out. Go ahead, put that in the comments, because now you'll have me and anyone else that reads that'd like to learn how to help you to get to your why. They might reach out and ask you, hey, so how's it coming along? I saw that you were on Cocktails or Cello the other day, and you didn't know what your why is. Where are you now? Like Miss Chin, hold you accountable. All right. So the first one is identify the things that you can do, make better in other people's lives. So curious, what are the things that you feel that you could make better? I can tell you, for me, I've always been able to motivate folks. And what I mean by that is that I typically see the glass half full. And I tell you this much, I'm that guy in the room. Oh, look at that. I got the sign across my face. I got leader. Oh, look at that. I'm the guy in the office or even at the house that see the glass half full. And sometimes, it may not be the right person. I may not be the right person in every situation. So I read the room, essentially. So if it doesn't need to be rah, 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 obviously I know my audience, so I make an effort. And you know what? Have failed in the past. I've fallen flat and I've learned. Trust me. I've learned. So I'm that kind of person that when I identify someone's potential, I help them identify it and tap into that. I only say that because I have to motivate myself. I mean, I work for a great organization, but gosh, my leaders, they have a lot on their plate. They like to motivate. I mean, that's their job, I guess, and they love to motivate other folks. But at the end of the day, they have a team. And I can't, they're not my mother or my father. So they're not going to be there for me when I need them the most. I need to find a way to motivate myself. So I've learned to do that on my own. So over time, I've been able to identify it in other people. So I'm curious to know, see if we have any insight on that in the meantime in the comments. Okay, so the next one we have is think back to the activity you did that made you forget about the passing time. I don't know what it could be for you. Is it sitting in a backyard, having a cocktail, painting, sketching, knitting, donating your time? What is it? Going for a walk? It could be anything. Mind you, it seems like the last two things, you're like, okay, how the heck are you going to get to your why? When do you ever? That's like you saw one of the things that Simon Sinek says, how you change your why. You might identify your why one day and then you realize it's something else. Who knows? But it's just curious if you identify that, if you think about it, and mind you, you can come back and watch the replay at a later time and type it in. You can see that the time code right now is, what is that, 13 minutes into it. So you can come back, fast forward and put in your why there. Now, the third one is recall what you like to do when you were a kid. I mean, I enjoyed playing sports when I was a kid. Hanging out with family. Playing baseball. I remember one time when I was a little boy in my old neighborhood. For whatever reason, somehow or another, I got nicknamed Hulk Hogan. And so folks used to call me Hogan in my neighborhood. And I remember one time I went to pick up a baseball bat. But unfortunately, it was an area where people were like warming up. And unbeknownst to me, somebody just swung their bat and whack. So needless to say, my head was ringing for a little while. Yeah, so playing baseball. I'm trying to think about just hanging out, and those are the things I can think about when I enjoy when I was a kid. I like playing with different. I'm trying to think about the word, what it is, but like different projects, science projects. I guess I was a little boring when I was a kid. I can't, other than what I've shared, either I was going to school and then the other things I was doing was hanging out with friends and spending time with family. Who knows? It's 11:30. Who's maybe somebody needs me to bail them out. I see the phone's ringing. All right, so now the last one, well, I guess in this time, I guess it's good because then I'll find out who was calling, is think about the things that you were willing to do, even if you even if you look like a fool. See, I think this really taps into that, about your why. Because think about when you, let's say I get a little, I guess you could say a bit corny, and I'll say, yeah, when you love someone, you'll do just about anything, and you'll look like a fool, and that's fine. So wonder what would it be? Would it be, I don't know, clipping your spouse's nails? I've known women in the past that they like to when I'm after I've shaven, they'll get, not after I shave, let's say like around this time you're laying down and they'll start looking at your face and you see like you have your hair in there and they'll get like a tweezer and they'll start going bananas pulling. I don't know, that could be it, but I guess I'm not really making you look like a fool. But what is it for you? With me, it's I don't know. I guess I wouldn't even think about it. I would just do it. So to answer the earlier question, when it comes down to what my why is, I've always seen myself as a servant. I mean, straightforward. It's pretty easy that way. And if you feel the same way, just by all means, hit the emoji, put like a praying hand in the comments. That same thing. If you feel like that you consider yourself a servant, and this is why I like what I do for a living in sales, because I'm here to serve. So yeah, that's something to consider. So we're having a servant mentality. Many times you're gonna look foolish. But who cares? I mean, think about, and I'll use this as an example. It could be any religion. But the first thing I think about, like, let's say, what is that? Not nurses. What is that? Nuns. There you go. Think about what you typically see in a nun or how a nun behaves. She's very obedient and very helpful. And guys watching this, who cares if you don't have to be a macho. Sometimes being vulnerable can be the most macho thing you could do. So, all right, so let me see here. I was able to refresh the page, and I see here I got my lady here, Michelle from NYC. I was watching a live or a replay of a live, and she just took me back to everyone that I knew from New York City, because as I listened to her and watching her energy reminded me all the folks that I remember when I lived in New York. So I was working and listening to the replay, and when something happened, I'll pause it and go back to it, because it was just so infectious. So it was so much. It was great seeing that. I couldn't help stop listening and watching. So Michelle, thanks for joining. I know Ms. Brown says to be a listening ear, be upfront, just a few things. Yeah, just keep it simple. So, as I said before, I didn't want to belabor this, and same thing, I didn't want to have these long discussions. And mind you, if you're just watching, that's fine. Maybe I help you think about what your why is. And if you want to talk about it, by all means, send me a direct message. You don't have to comment. But this initiative with LEDA made me start thinking about different approaches. You know, like what should I do with this platform? You know, I mean, I'm a trash guy, and here I am talking about what your why is. I don't know. So, if you guys already know, my name is Marcello Arcele. I want to thank you very much for stopping by, listening to me yap. I do appreciate your friendship, to say the least. And as I mentioned before, I specialize in working in logistical manufacturing organizations right here in Metro Atlanta. And if you need to have a sustainable, reliable solution that is safe, give me a call. My number is 678-683-9136. Thanks for joining me today. Take care. Bye.